My friends, let's give some tzedakah on this very auspicious day, the 9th of Kislev, which we're going to discuss in a moment. And we're praying to Hashem that we should have all the hostages to be freed and not paying a price for it. To be freed miraculously, together with all of us being freed from this exile. As I just mentioned, today, the 9th of Kislev, is the day of birth and also the yahrzeit, the day of passing of the Mittler Rebbe. Let us familiarize a little bit with the Mittler Rebbe's, briefly, with his life. His name was Reb Dov Ber. He was named Reb Dov Ber after the Maggid of Mezrich, who was the disciple of the Baal Shem Tov, and who, after the passing of the Baal Shem Tov, he took over the leadership of the Chabad, of the Hasidic movement. And he was actually the Rebbe, the mentor of the Alter Rebbe, thus the father of the Mittler Rebbe. Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi was the father. He was the student of the Mittler Rebbe. Of the Maggid of Mezrich. The Alter Rebbe and the Rebbe Zushe Silberstein, they were blessed with 7 daughters, but they had no son. So what does a Chassid do? Asks a blessing from his Rebbe. And the Maggid told them that they should increase in the mitzvah of Achnasas Orchim, welcoming guests, and in the merit of that they will have a son. And indeed, they had. The Shabbos before the passing of the Maggid, that is the Maggid of Mezrich, the Maggid shared with the Alter Rebbe some deep and holy concepts, Kabbalistic concepts, and holy preparations that needs to be done when a boy is born on the Shalom Zocher, that is the Shabbos, the first Shabbos of the birth of a little boy, and also during the Bris Milah. And it instructed him that the boy that they will have should be named after him, thus Dov Ber. And in fact, the following year, the Maggid passed away, and this is when the Mittler Rebbe was born, and indeed he was named after the Maggid. The Maggid was a brilliant scholar in all aspects of Torah, and already at the age of 16, his father appointed him to be the mentor for the young followers, the young Chassidim. Now young, many of them were much older than the Mittler Rebbe himself. And he was extremely successful. In fact, his teachings and his understanding of Chassidus is what's called, in the level of Bina, expansion. The Maggid, I keep on saying the Maggid, I meant the Mittler Rebbe, took over the leadership of the Chabad movement upon the passing of his father, and that was in the year 1812. But unfortunately, it was a relatively short period. He was only Rebbe for 15 years, because he passed away at the age of 54, also on today's date, on 9th of Kislev, in the year 1827. After which, his son-in-law and his nephew, the Tzemach Tzedek, took over the leadership from him. So now there were 3 Rebbes. The Alter Rebbe, the older, the first Rebbe, the Baal HaTanya. The Tzemach Tzedek, which is the 3rd. So therefore they named the second one the Mittler, in between the 2 of them. There's many Kabbalistic explanations what this represents. The Mittler Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe was Chachma, the Mittler Rebbe was Bina, the Tzemach Tzedek is the level of Das, Bina in between Chachma and Bina, but Chachma and Das, let's leave this for another time. But it's not just a play of words, it has deep godly concepts. As I said earlier, that at the age of 16, the Alter Rebbe already appointed him to be a mentor to many Chassidim, and that's also at that time he got married, at the young age of 16. And the Rebbe Zushe was actually a daughter of the local impoverished teacher, the Melamed, Rabbi Yaakov. So obviously she was a special girl. But interesting, the Alter Rebbe chose her for his son, saying that Rabbi Yaakov has many, many children. And unfortunately, he can't marry them off because he doesn't have the funds for it. The fact that he will have a mechutin, that his son-in-law is a son of the Alter Rebbe, obviously this will open for him all the opportunities to marry off all his children. The Avas Yisrael, the love for your fellow Jew, is quite impressive in this act. So the Mittel Rebbe and the Rebbe Zushe had 8 daughters and 2 sons. Among the daughters was also the Rebbe Menucha Rachel, that eventually went with a group of Chassidim that the Mittel Rebbe sent to Hebron, established to strengthen the Jewish community in Eretz Yisrael. He bought then a property in Hebron, which is today the oldest property belonging to Chabad in Hebron. And the Rebbe Menucha Rachel became known as the mother of Hebron, and she's still buried.